Joe Budden and Sin were chilling tonight watching the episode with all of us as we yelled at the screen at Joe Budden's foolery. Okay, if you cheated on the woman, God, I hope that y'all have settled it and y'all are good to go now, because you made her look a fool on tonight. Accountability. Do you hear me? Joe Budden had no accountability when it came down to this whole cheating situation. For Lexington's sake, I hope y'all got it together. Chrissy is back, and not only is she narrating, she is still with Jim Jones. And I'm telling you, I know your frustration. Listen, she's fine just being a partner. She's fine with the common law relationship, being together 15 years and not getting married. The marriage is not a priority, she said. So I see you. I see you. Calm down, boo. It ain't no need in getting puffed up about it, because she's not. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Camray, and you're watching Camray Music TV, and I'm back with a Love and Hip Hop New York review. This is season 10? Which means it's been on 9 years, guys. 10 years. Love and Hip Hop has been on. It's craziness, madness that this show has been on this long. And with all the flashbacks tonight and Chrissy coming back, I could not help but feel like a little bit of nostalgia, right? A little bit like, wow, we really grew up with this show. Like, we could really reflect back on some bad wigs, back on some dresses without any draws on. We could reflect on some things, right? But anyway, before we get into that, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to my channel down below, follow the podcast, hashtag JTFIO, or Just Trying to Figure It Out on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, you can find my podcast there. I also have merch. Go to CamrayMusicTV.com, get you a t-shirt, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CamrayMusicTV. Let's go. All right, so like I said, it was 2 hours, guys. I was rushing home to try to get home to, well, obviously home because I was rushing home to catch the premiere because I had heard all the buzz. Now, it's not like, you know, I had stopped watching Love and Hip Hop Hollywood because it just was getting outlandish. I mean, once April start sleeping with Fizz and she had no remorse, and then it's only so many times I'm gonna watch Moniece cry, and then A1 and Lyrica, I mean, just stuff just wasn't making sense. People was laughing when they supposed to be upset, you know, it just was a lot. So I wanted to start fresh with this franchise. You guys know, if you've been following me for any amount of time, that I tried to review Love and Hip Hop. I always try, and then somewhere along the line I just can't stick with it. So we'll just see if I can stick with it. It's not that I can't do the video, it's that the interest dies off and I stop watching it. So we're gonna try with Love and Hip Hop New York. Okay, so like I said, Chrissy is narrating, and I'm just gonna talk about all the situations. We're not going to break down episode 1, episode 2. This is episode 1 and 2 review. Okay, we know that the last time we saw Chrissy, she had hopped into a beef or hopped into a situation. So basically, they're having a girls' night where they're supporting Emily B. Yes, that Emily B. Yes, that Emily B. Okay? They're having a girls' night, and they are supporting her because she's going through some stuff with Fab, right? See, ain't nothing changed. And Kimbella shows up as somebody's +1, or she just shows up, I don't know. But all the girls are there, and Kimbella feels the need to let her know she dated Fab 3 years ago. Chrissy felt like this is disrespectful because, you know, she is dealing with mess with him right now. I believe he had cheated in this instance, right? And so Chrissy feels like she got to step to her, right? So we all remember this infamous fight, and Chrissy ain't had no, not Chrissy, Kimbella ain't had no drawers on. Chrissy got a weave pulled out, and then Kimbella was still talking about how she's pretty. We see the clip so many times during tonight that excuse me, we see Yandy hop in. And she is trying to keep Chrissy from getting at Kimbella, but you know, Yandy was a very skinny back then, and Chrissy's always been curvy, and so she was not really able to hold her. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. Chrissy is coming from Miami with this whole like Zen sage lighting. She's trying to get everybody back. She wants to get back cool with people, squash beefs, all of these things right here, okay? But what I'm confused about with Chrissy is she's coming back saying that, But she's not coming back doing that. When she sits down with Kimbella, it's not a remorseful, it's not a whole like I was wrong for my stuff. Because you know what I see a lot on these shows is you're ready to come get your apology, but you're not really coming with one. Okay, you coming with peace, but not if you gotta apologize, right? We talked about this with lhhny yesterday. So she's on this whole thing where, you know, she feels like we both embarrassed ourselves. We both could have handled the situation better. You can't tell me that you know, she's talking to Kimbella. You can't tell me that you didn't feel like you were wrong in that situation at all. I'm just like, but we're not here to talk about how wrong she was. Okay? You're here to talk about on your part. Let that person do that part. Okay, so I already had a problem off top. But you know what I noticed about Kimbella, I bit my tongue, is she's not cool with Yandy. Not the way that she wants to be. And so she's looking for an ally, a bulldog. Somebody that can be upset with Yandy the same way she is so that she can have somebody to roll with her at these places because she feels outnumbered because everybody else likes Yandy. Juju's cool with Yandy. Jonathan's cool with Yandy. Sin is cool with Yandy. So who is she going to hang with on the show? So maybe I'll just hook on and latch on to Chrissy because Chrissy is a mouthpiece and she's not scared of Yandy and she's going to put Yandy in her place and not lean more towards her side. To me, most people would feel like this is cool for Kimbella to do. I feel like it's insecure and it's weak. If you have a problem with someone, why do you need to rally a team to all have a problem with that person? No. If someone's coming back in town, and I'm going to tell you the God honest truth. If I have a problem with someone and then someone comes into town and I have a problem with someone that they feel like, oh, maybe I should get back cool with, that is your prerogative. My issue don't have nothing to do with your issue. My issue is something totally different. As a matter of fact, that person stood between me and you when we did have our issue, trying to defend me or trying to stop you. I don't think she's trying to defend Kimbella as much as she was trying to stop old girl. Okay, so with all that being said, it's just kind of like, Kimbella, are you really searching for someone to be your mouthpiece? And that's what it seems like. Okay, so that's kind of what's going on with Chrissy. When we get into what's going on with Jim Jones, I made this little thing at the bottom, this little list, this little things to point out, things that we're not even going to harp on. As I said in the teaser, Chrissy and Jim Jones have been together for 15 years, like she said, okay? We have seen Chrissy cry about not being proposed to, wanting to get married. We've seen Chrissy propose to Jim Jones and him looking like he said no. I don't quite remember, but it wasn't, I mean, I think he said yes, but they still ain't married, right? We've seen this whole back and forth between her and his mom, Mama Jones, with the psychotic thing, right? And her song and all that. And then, we've seen them on the marriage boot camp, even though they're not married. And so now, for her to be like, marriage is not the priority, she said what it is. You cannot make someone want what you want for them. And so I'm just not even going to keep harping on the same thing. She like it, I love it, okay? Is it shocking to me? Heck yes. Is it crazy that she puts up with some of the things that she puts up with, but then she's still a mouthpiece for feminism and, you know, women being independent? And I mean, she just gives me that. Like, I love Chrissy's image. She's always so put together. She gives me like classy in her looks. Her body is banging. Her hair is healthy. Skin is flawless. But it's just something is not connecting with Chrissy the person and then Chrissy in this couple. Like, he literally says crazy stuff and it's just, it's not even, it don't even touch her like it would touch me, right? And that's why she loves him, and that's why I'm in my marriage with who I'm in my marriage with. Okay, so I'm just saying that so that as we move through the season, if y'all hear me harping on the fact that she's with him, just kindly tap on because I'm not gonna do it no more. Okay, so anyway, we get this thing where she's in the blogs because her and Jim Jones' house is being foreclosed, okay? And she finds out about it on social media. So this is another thing where I'm just like, okay, how does your whole man of 15 years allow you to find out about your home on social media? To make matters worse, she has made this group or started this group or this business where she is flipping houses with this group of women, and she has this business partner. And so, you know, this does not look good for a person to have a foreclosed home or their home is being foreclosed on whose business is flipping homes, and you have other people's money that you're doing this with, right? And so, you know, the boss is asking all the questions we want to know. We want to know why your man, your common law partner, your fiance, your husband of all this time would allow this to happen to you, knowing the business that you have going on, the career that you're trying to start, the name that you have out here, and simply just not let you know. He doesn't seem, the word just slipped my mind. He does not seem remorseful. He just is just on the FaceTime like, yeah, I could have handled it better. And she's like, well, next time. And I'm just like, next time? Next time? Girl, I mean, I know there's not too much you can do. It's already done. But it's just like, I need you to be more upset. I need you to be more in control of what's going on. And she made a comment that, you know, us poor folk, we wouldn't know nothing about, because, I mean, we don't have a house yet. But she said, my name is on the deed, but it's not on the mortgage. I was confused there. Maybe y'all can clear that up in the comments down below. But she said that, and I just was like, why isn't your name on everything after y'all been together all this long? Okay. She said that she went to Miami for 3 years, but they were still together. She's back. I just don't really know what's going on with Chrissy. Let's get into Yandy. You guys know that Yandy has gotten into this whole like activist role where, you know, she is a philanthropist, right? But she's been more on the police brutality thing, and I wish I could think of the technical terms, but basically about, you know, our young men being locked up, our black people, our brown people being locked up. She's fighting for it. You guys know earlier this year or late last year, she was out protesting. It got crazy. They were pepper spraying and macing people. She had to have milk in her eyes. So she's like the real deal. You know, when they had cut the heat off for the prisoners and then she got it turned back on, right? So she's having this event and all these different people are there. We got Rich Dollars because he's dealing with the thing with his ex-wife and her case going on. We got Remy Ma because, you know, she's had her stuff going on. You know, Jonathan's there because he loves Yandy, and Juju's there because who doesn't love Juju? You know, so all these people are there. Okay, and so Kimbella walks in, and so this is when we see that they have kind of hash things out, but then now they're about to be upset again. We clearly notice Kimbella has gained some weight. I just am concerned because it doesn't look like she's gained weight. It looks like she's gotten more surgery. And so that's where my concern is. I want us to understand that it's okay to have the bodies that we have. Y'all, I am battling my stomach area is trying to take over, okay? And I'm just not trying to let it, okay? So, I mean, it's okay to pay for it, but it's also okay to work it out, but I just don't want us insecure. And so Kimbella with the synthetic wigs and the makeup and I mean, it's just so much going on that it's like, she looks great with just her natural hair. She looks great just, I don't know, we always see her in tight clothes, but I mean, her natural hair is fine, and it's not a problem with wearing wigs and stuff. She just has so much going on. She's so tight. Everything is so tight. But anyway, her and Yandy got cool, and then they weren't cool by the end of the episode because she walked in an event with Chrissy, and it's just like, hey, a real petty hey. Let me see what else I had about Kimbella before I finish up with Yandy. Yeah, they're back to beefing because, you know, Yandy is talking about Chrissy's situation about the foreclosure. She's reading the blog while Sin, Jonathan, while they're all out, right? And so she's just reading it, and, you know, Kimbella feels like it's messy or whatever. But it's just like, Kimbella, you're so pumped up about Chrissy so fast. so fast. I mean, I felt where Jonathan was coming from. And honestly, I mean, a lot of people have a problem with him taking up with Yandy, but I just feel like in a lot of these situations, Yandy be right, though. Like, she be right. She be right. A lot of people don't like Yandy. I don't know. Maybe she's just a really good talker, because I'm one for the Yandy hype. I just am. She just always seems like what she's saying makes full sense. I fully believe her. And maybe that's just me being gullible. Okay, so let me go back. So Yandy, we know Mendeecees is getting out. He's not out right now, but maybe he'll be out by reunion time. So that's exciting. Let me see. Let me go back up here. Let me go back up here. Okay, so that's how they fell out. Kimbella and Yandy fell out last year because at the reunion and all through the season, remember Kimbella has so much to say about Yandy's parenting of the older girl that she is fostering or had adopted, right? And so, you know, Yandy clearly don't play about the kids because she has them. She has a few, right? And who plays about their kids? So that was a problem, and that's why they're not as cool as they were. So I feel Yandy on it. I don't know how there's an issue. Okay, so let's get into some of these couples. Okay, we got Remy and Pap. We got Sin and Joe. We got Erica and Safari. And that's it. That's it for right now. Okay, so Joe and Sin, we watched their whole thing like kind of unfold, right? We saw them get together. We saw him have a problem with Safari last season. Now Safari and Erica getting married. Now they're broken up. Ha! The irony, right? And so, then we saw them get engaged. We saw this beautiful baby boy. We saw, you know, Joe Budden start to get his life together, have get his brand together and start to have shows and deals. We saw Sin go through this postpartum. We saw it all, right? And so to see them now on the outs where, you know, let Sin tell it, Joe Budden had some stuff in his phone. She found out he cheated. That's what she said, okay? Joe Budden is the king of backpedaling and walking around the corner and around the bush around the situation. Yet he's the oldest, claims to be the most woke. You know, on his podcast, he likes to call a thing. He likes to be direct. He likes to be blunt. But it's like when it comes to your own situation, you're just so full of the fluff. Like, just say what it is. When he's sitting there talking to the guys, Pap and Rich Dollars, while they're shooting pool, he's like, yeah, she went in my phone. She found some stuff that she didn't really vibe with. I can't even think of the word, reconcilable differences, irreconcilable, however you say it, right? They're having these differences. I know it's like on the tip of my tongue, however you say it. And basically saying all this, right? So this is an issue that I have, okay? Why don't you just say, I had inappropriate things in my phone. My fiance found it, and instead of explaining myself, I didn't. So she got upset and she left. Instead, it's in this whole realm, this whole way of saying like, well, she went into my phone. She found some stuff that she had a problem with. I messed up by having it there, and she decided to leave. When I came home, she wasn't there. My son was gone. And when Papoose says he's wrong, well, no, how about she's wrong because she didn't stick around and have an adult conversation about it, and you're not communicating like an adult. I said, boy, is this the Jedi mind trick that Rox be talking about? Because how he took himself completely out of that, full blame and accountability completely out of that, is just beyond me. Joe, you were wrong because you had something in your phone that your girl couldn't see. If your girl can't see it and you're sneaking and it's a problem, it's a problem. Okay, so that's where you were wrong. Okay? And so her being upset, she has a right to be. She should not have to go and find anything. Now, ladies, I will say when we go and find, be ready to find. Okay? But, you know, part of the relaxation, you know, when you have a man who is so good to you, right? And you've had people in the past who haven't been good to you, you start to wonder, like, is this going to end? Do I have to wonder if this is going to go bad? And then you have someone who's in the limelight. And then you have someone who has a track record the way that they do. So then you just figure, you know, let me just calm my nerves and just check. Or maybe she didn't have that case. Maybe, like she said, she started to see different things going on. And maybe she knew if she asked him, or maybe she did ask him, she knew he wasn't going to be straight with her. So she looked and she found. And then even when she found, he was still sideways with her. So this is what I liked. Papoose did not let him weasel out and just laugh and joke like any one of these other little skeezers would have done. Okay, Peter Guns, Stevie J, Benzino, there's a name, right? Scrappy, all these people, Ray J, you know, they might have said something, but it would not have been to the effect of the Papoose with a black love hat on. Okay, he let him know, I hear what you're saying, but I don't hear no accountability. Where are you owning up to your part and what you did, and how the reason why you're not with your wife-to-be and your son all under one happy roof is because of what you did, sir? Her stuff is in reaction to what you did. How do you not see that? So, you know, he's trying to set him straight, and I just was like, Joe is not seeing it. He's not seeing it. And to hop on the Shade Room and see Joe and Sin sitting next to each other, eating bonbons and sipping out of red Solo cups, watching the episode, and wasn't nobody making no noise, I just was like, you know what? We are not going to get pumped up about this because they're cool now. They're cool. So if she's fine, if she's moved on, we love Sin. So Joe, don't mess it up. But I will say, seeing Tahiri on there tonight, I just hope, I prayed, girl, do not backtrack and get back into that. It's crazy with these flashbacks to see him proposing to her and him proposing to Sin and them having the same issues with Joe Budden. Okay, I'm off them. Erica and Safari, I love them together. Okay, we all thought it was a hoax. They got together on that Scaredy Cat show. You know, Erica's been making all these changes to her face and her teeth, but I mean, she looks good. Erica is beautiful to me. Okay, she does have like a really skinny build, so her boobs and lips and teeth, you know, everything is a lot, but she just always looks so good to me. Okay, so she's pregnant. You guys know that they're getting married. Their relationship has been very public. I did not know that, you know, her dad passing away, anytime you deal with like trauma, it does always bring people together. We've been talking about that with Queen and Slim, right? But it's been bringing them together. It brought them together, and then them being on the show, you know, anybody knows when you go away somewhere and you spend any length of time with people where you're just kind of stuck there, you don't have your phones, you get closer, you get to know them on a different level, right? So I believe in their relationship. What I'm feeling like is, you know, Erica was wrong when she's trying to do this prenup thing and she brings it up at the meeting with the lawyer. Okay, so now you've got your husband to be looking at you sideways because it's like, why you didn't say nothing before? If you genuinely wanted to look out for self and protect self, you know, maybe she just felt like, we're not going to agree on this and I'll just put it out here and then he'll just have to get with it because of who we're in front of. But I really appreciate Safari for standing up for himself and being like, no, I have a problem with this. We should have discussed this prior. So now I need to go get my people and I need to see what I need. You know, even though he was being a little petty and Erica was crying, but it's like, you don't just spring that on him like that. You don't do that. You let him know, like, listen, because of my past, because of my experience, I would like to protect myself and have a prenup. We are both celebrities. We have both worked hard, blah, 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 woo, 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 right? And so maybe if you would have explained it in that vein, he would have had no choice but to understand, had some time to get himself together, and then y'all would have went on to the lawyer. Good. But you brought it up after your girlfriend put a bug in your ear, and it just kind of looks sneaky, like Safari said. So Safari was right in that instance. Let's see what else here. Let's see. Remy is figuring out this whole mommyhood thing. I really think she should just bring the baby on stage with her, okay? It's a lot. We see Fat Joe on there, who really should just be called Joe now. I think she's going to get it together. She is right. She's not one of these twerking type rappers. She is the more gutta, like, give it to you hard type of rapper, so it is hard to bring baby on stage. But I think she's going to figure it out. Let me look through these notes for anything else. Okay, this was a long review. Remy was off parole. She had the big party. Everyone came. But I think she just got off parole again because of that situation with, is it Brittany B? Shoot, Brittany B might be from Hollywood. Brittany, I don't know. Anyway, let me see. Okay, so let's keep up with these beefs. We got Yandy and Chrissy still having their beef. We got Yandy and Kimbella still ongoing beef. So that means Jonathan and Kimbella as well, because Jonathan is all sides with Yandy. Okay, we got Erica and Sin. I don't really know. Seem like they're kind of moving around circles from each other, but with Erica trying to put Tahiri back on Joe and Sin and Joe trying to patch things up, there's gonna be an issue there, right? But they were at the wedding. They were at Erica and them's wedding, so we'll see about that. Richie and Safari, we thought it was going to be an issue, but he extends the olive branch. When I say he, I mean Rich Dollaz. They shake hands. What is going on with Rich Dollaz press and curl with his S curl? Let it go, man. You could just be bald and have the beard now. You could just do that. Okay, let me see. And the last beef that I feel like is the most prominent, that is pretty much always going on, is Joe Budden and Black Twitter. Okay, we just got a problem with Joe Budden. He just is always saying something. All right, so I pointed out my things. And I think that's my review for this week. Now, I don't know if they're going to have an episode next week with it being Christmas week. But this was a lot, and I needed it. Okay, I enjoyed every last minute. Tried to watch that reunion for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. I just still couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. It's just too much. It's just too much of the wrong stuff. Okay, tonight with Love and Hip Hop New York was too much of the right stuff. It was good. Anyway, I'm Kemaray. This is Kemaray Music TV. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!